Let's be honest for a second. Every foreigner who studies Chinese has had this thought at least once. What do native speakers actually think when they hear me speaking? Do they think, wow, that's impressive? Or do they smile politely while secretly thinking, oh no, what was that supposed to be? Today I'm telling you the honest truth about what Chinese native speakers really think when foreigners speak Mandarin. When I first started speaking Chinese, I was terrified. I'd open my mouth, my voice would shake, and I'd think they're going to laugh. They'll hear one tone mistake and know instantly that I'm not from here. But after years of living, studying, and chatting my way through China with taxi drivers, shop owners, and university professors, I realized something. Their reactions are not random. They follow a pattern. It's almost like a cultural reflex. So first, let's talk about their very first reaction when you start speaking Chinese. When a native speaker hears a foreigner say even a simple 你好 or 谢谢, their eyes widen just a little. You can almost see their brain say, wait, did I just hear that correctly? Once, in a small noodle shop in Beijing, I said, 我要一碗牛肉面，谢谢. I'd like a bowl of beef noodles, please. The lady just froze. For a second, she looked like she was trying to process if I was an alien who had somehow mastered her language. Then she smiled the biggest smile and said, 哇，你中文说得太好了. Wow, your Chinese is amazing. And honestly, I just ordered lunch. No grammar gymnastics, no idioms, just noodles. But here's the thing. Most Chinese people don't expect foreigners to try. So when you do, even a tiny bit, it feels like a gesture of respect. Now let's move to something that every Chinese learner knows all too well. The famous compliment. 你的中文很好. Your Chinese is very good. You'll hear it everywhere. You can say 你好 and boom, your Chinese is very good. You can ask for water. 你的中文很好. Now, sometimes it means what it sounds like, genuine admiration, but often it's more like a friendly good job sticker for effort. Think of it as the linguistic equivalent of when you give a toddler a gold star for trying their shoes. And you know what? That's okay. It's encouragement, not evaluation. It's their way of saying, hey, I see you trying and I like that. I used to overthink it. I'd be like, no, my Chinese isn't good, don't flatter me. But now, I just smile and say, 哪里哪里还在学习呢? Oh, not at all, I'm still learning. It's the humble, classic Chinese way to accept a compliment, and it always makes people laugh. After that initial surprise and polite compliment, there is something even deeper. The things native speakers actually love about hearing foreigners speaking Chinese. Chinese people absolutely love it when the foreigner isn't afraid to speak. Not perfectly, not flawlessly, just confidently. Once at a university dorm, I met a security guard who asked me where I was from. I was tired, my tones were a mess, and my vocabulary half asleep. But I answered anyway. He laughed, not at me, but with genuine joy, and said, 你敢说中文，这很厉害. You dare to speak Chinese, that's awesome. And that's it. They love the courage. They also light up when you get the tones right. It's like music to their ears. Not opera level perfect, but clear enough. To them, that shows effort and respect. And if you throw in some real everyday expressions, not textbook phrases like 我喜欢看书, I like reading books, but something like 真的假的? Are you serious? Or 我也是这么想的. That's what I thought too. They are instantly impressed. It's the linguistic equivalent of blending in at the local tea shop instead of ordering a frappuccino with soy foam in rural China. But of course, there are also things that native speakers don't love quite as much, though they are usually too polite to say it out loud. Let's talk about that. There are a few things that quietly irritate them, not in an angry way, more like an internal oh dear. The first is when someone flat out refuses to learn tones. I once met a guy who proudly told me, "I don't bother with tones, it's all about context." And I thought, context can save you sometimes, sure, but not when you accidentally say you're selling your girlfriend instead of introducing her. Another pet peeve is when foreigners learn 3 sentences and use them on repeat forever. 我喜欢中国菜，中国很大，中文很难。I like Chinese food. China is big. Chinese is hard. After the 10th repetition, people start wondering if your language app crashed and got stuck in an endless loop. And finally, bragging. Nothing turns off a conversation faster than "I speak fluent Chinese," followed by total confusion when someone replies at a normal speed. It's like showing up to a marathon in flip-flops. Cute confidence, but not convincing. Now, if you want to earn that quiet respect and maybe even some lifelong friends, here's my honest advice. First, speak boldly even when you are not sure. The most magical moments in China didn't happen when I spoke perfect sentences. They happened when I spoke imperfect ones, with heart. I remember being lost once in Chengdu in the middle of a street market full of sizzling skewers and the smell of spice so thick it almost burned your eyes. I asked an older lady in my spoken Chinese, 阿姨，这个地方在哪里? Auntie, where is this place? My tones were all over the place. I think I accidentally called her dog instead of auntie, but she didn't care. She smiled, took my arm, and personally walked me 3 blocks to where I needed to go, talking the whole way about her favorite Sichuan dishes and her son studying in Beijing. That moment wasn't about language, it was about connection, and that's the beauty of speaking Chinese in China. People want to connect with you. They notice your effort, they sense your sincerity. Second, laugh at your own mistakes, just seriously. It's not only okay to make them, it's essential. In China, humor is a bridge. People love to laugh with you. Once, during my first weeks in university, I was chatting with my classmates, and I proudly told them, 我洗了老师. I washed the teacher. I meant to say 我见了老师. I met the teacher. Everyone stared for 2 seconds, and then the whole classroom exploded with laughter. For a moment, I was mortified. But then one girl leaned over and said, 你的中文越来越可爱了. Your Chinese is getting cuter and cuter. That was the moment I stopped taking mistakes personally. I realized laughter in Chinese culture often means affection. It's how they show warmth, not mockery. Third, don't aim for perfection, aim for connection. I think that fluency is overrated. Connection is unforgettable. I used to stress over every misplaced tone and every forgotten character. But one evening, sitting in a park in Nanjing, playing cards with a group of elderly people, I realized something. They didn't care that I was making grammar mistakes every 5 seconds. They cared that I was there, that I was listening to their stories about the Cultural Revolution, about the time they first got color TVs, about how they still believed tea cures everything. When I stumbled for a word, they'd jump in, finish my sentence, and cheer me on like I was their granddaughter learning to talk. That's the real gift of speaking Chinese. It gives you access to hearts, not just conversations. And finally, when you don't understand something, don't just nod. Ask. I can't stress this enough. The moment I started asking, 什么意思? What does it mean? My world doubled in size. I remember once hearing someone say, 别当真，开个玩笑. I smiled politely but later asked, what exactly does 当真 mean? My friend explained, it means to take something seriously, like don't be too serious, I was just joking. That one small phrase opened a whole new layer of cultural understanding. Because in Chinese communication, 别当真 isn't just about joking, it's about emotional balance. It means relax, don't let small things ruin the good energy between us. When you ask for meaning, you are not just learning a word, you are learning how people think. The longer I lived in China, the more I realized that speaking Chinese isn't just about mastering vocabulary or tones, it's about understanding rhythm, emotion, and unspoken etiquette. When you walk into a shop and say, 麻烦你了, literally sorry to bother you, you are not just being polite, you are showing humility. When you say, 慢慢来, take your time, you are expressing patience, not impatience. When you end a conversation with 辛苦了, you've worked hard. You're acknowledging someone's effort in a deeply cultural way that goes beyond words. These phrases aren't just vocabulary, they are reflections of values, respect, harmony, gratitude, and when you use them sincerely, Chinese people can feel that. Sometimes the best Chinese conversations happen far away from classrooms, in unexpected places. Like that time, I was sitting on a train from Xi'an to Shanghai, and the woman next to me started eating sunflower seeds and offered me some. We talked for 6 hours straight. She told me about her daughter, her work at a factory, her favorite singer from the 1980s. I stumbled, mixed up tones, invented grammar on the spot, but we laughed endlessly. When the train arrived, she said, 你中文说得挺好，不是因为你说得完美，而是因为我听得懂你的心. You speak Chinese well, not because it's perfect, but because I can understand your heart. That line stuck with me forever. Every sentence you speak in Chinese shows effort, curiosity, and courage. Even if all someone says back is 你的中文很好, behind those words there's genuine appreciation. You might think they are just being polite, but often they mean thank you for making the effort to meet me in my language. And honestly, that's rare, because in a world where English dominates so much communication, when you speak to someone in Chinese, you are not just speaking their language, you are speaking to their soul. I've had people tell me, 你不像外国人, you are not like a foreigner. At first, I wasn't sure if that was a compliment, but I realized it means you are not standing outside looking in anymore. You've crossed the bridge. So, what do native speakers secretly think about foreigners speaking Chinese? They think you are brave for trying. They think you are interesting because you are opening a door few people dare to open. They think you sound funny sometimes, but they love that you try. And when you stick with it long enough, they stop seeing you as the foreigner who speaks Chinese. They start seeing you as one of them. That's the biggest compliment you can ever get. And that's the point. You don't need to sound perfect to be understood. You just need to sound human. So go ahead. Talk, stumble, laugh, ask questions, and keep going. Every mispronunciation is a story. Every mistake is a step. Every conversation is proof that you care. Chinese people don't want your grammar. They want your curiosity. They don't expect you to master every tone. They just want to see your effort. And when they hear it, they'll smile that unmistakable smile. The one that says, you tried, you cared. And that's enough. So keep speaking, keep connecting, and keep discovering the China that only opens itself when you dare to speak its language. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more stories, and share your funniest or most heartwarming Chinese moment in the comments. 再见! Goodbye!